Things are ready to get started here up in the Kayhi Commons as the community gathers to celebrate and remember and honor Elizabeth Peratrovich and her amazing efforts for civil rights in our state and country. We hope you'll stay and join us.
All of our representatives here with us that are going to be able to attend today. And so we're just going to ask for people to maybe give us some of your attention, and we'll have some care for the folks that are going to come up here to share with us. We're going to get started in about 2 minutes, so I just wanted to give people opportunity to be mindful. And also, I just wanted to say how thankful that all of us are that we get to gather together on this occasion. There's so many things that we have planned that we can celebrate, so that we can celebrate with one another and our students who are here. I'm so thankful that we have so many students and young people, so many elders. I'd like to honor all of the elders in the room. I'd like to honor all of those people who have dedicated their time. I know it's not easy because we're in the middle of the day and we have jobs and we have responsibilities, that you've taken time out of your day to come here and celebrate with us. And so we are going to begin our ceremony here within the next minute or so. So I ask, please, if you just share your attention with us, that we'll share our kindness and all of our good energy with you. So hawa Gönüllü Deutschen.
Just hibernating, trying to retire. We're all. Oh, I'm hanging in there, struggling right along. Everybody else. Yeah. I'm good. I was going to, and I woke up at 5:30. Slept all day, and then I slept all night. I've been tired. Yeah. Oh, okay. I will.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. In the olden days, what they did was put the silk-hat blanket of that particular clan, and so I'm a member of this clan. And so I thought maybe by bringing our clan representation so that everybody would be able to see.
Oh, I love you.
Blanket.
I love you so much.
In the olden days,
Oh,
they
you made
brought
my
the
day.
blanket out,
You made my day. I love you.
symbol of flag. And yesterday, I ended up going to a school, and I couldn't believe it. All these little kids were singing in Tlingit, Haida, and Tsimshian, and little guys. And they knew what they were singing, how to pronounce everything. And I thought, hey, this is what we've been fighting for. A long time ago, we couldn't do this type of thing. And so that is a reminder that we are free. And so because of Elizabeth Peratrovich and what she has done and what she has said. And so this resonates throughout our Native people. And so we have the freedom to be able to do good things. Thank you. Chief.
It's very, very special. It's a precious item. You don't leave a plan to speak alone. The in-laws are the other side of the village, which I am, will come forward. And from where Nathanson would be, mostly the Kabwatan or the Duckloid, which Nathan is a child of the Duckloid. Judson Brown, my wife is grandchild of the Duckloid. To bring such a blanket as a historical item, blessed by the clans that are present. So we bring this up because it represents Elizabeth Peratrovich entire clan. From now and since forever, since time immemorial. The strength she got to come forward was invested in her by her ancestors on both sides of the village. From the town that always was Pakwan. And through her father, Andrew Wanamaker, who was a preacher that taught her oratory skills and taught her how to be an honest, good person, to speak up when it's time to speak up, not later because it's important. And we learned that in 1945 for us. Because not only did when she speak up affect Alaska Natives, it affected everyone. Because in 1896, the Supreme Court said we are separate but equal. What an oxymoron. We're not separate, we're all equal. And through her, she said that at the territorial legislature, and we honor her, and Nathan, we honor him in his clan, by the opposite side bringing it forward, so they will be present with us today. Chief.
how election. We appreciate all of those words. We understand a lot of the things that are going to be said here today really are intellectual property, and so we appreciate the generosity that's being shared in this room, and we also appreciate the respect in receiving the messages and the background and history that's being shared. So we really appreciate all of your words and all of your generosity. At this time, we are going to introduce a group of friends of mine, a group of friends of all of ours in the community. These are uprising people in the community and our youth. We've got a tribal scholars group of students that belong to an after-school program. They also belong to an in-school program as well, and they work with Ketchikan Indian community. It is through that program that we are raising our leaders, many of our leaders today, and we want to recognize these students. They would like today to share with you a land acknowledgement.
The first people of this land, we pay respect to those past and present who have stewarded the wicked army since time immemorial. We respectfully acknowledge the traditional first people of this land, the Skan and Harvey. We want to recognize President Burns who helped put this government together for us to all use.
We've got one of our really respected people of the community who works with our youth one-on-one and very hands-on, who is going to introduce herself and also introduce the people that are up here with us today.
Ani Yefetuazak, I usually call it Ani. That's how all of the kids know me. And I work with the after-school program and Tribal Scholars. These guys are amazing. They amaze me every single day. They're always, trying to do something new and learning. They're very eager to learn. And I'm so proud of them today. This is amazing. So we have, I'm going to introduce them real quick. We have Macy, Tiana, and Michaela, and Mallory, Ella, and Jenna. And she's here for support. And I just want to say I'm so proud of these guys for doing this today. Thank you very much.
We have a few students here as well. I really appreciate our youth that come up here. They have such courage. It's really precious, but it also takes a lot of strength and courage to do that. And so I just want to give them a round of applause for really stepping out of their comfort zone to be here with us and share with us. Before we move on with our agenda, there's a few of our people in the audience that are going to come and sing a welcome song. And I know I've got one here that's with me. Where are my other two? Come up this way, please. You can stand right there. We've got these little my precious girls. This way. I know there's another young one in the audience. I can't remember her name. I think Kayhi Marnell.
I love you kids.
And we've got some other students in the back corner. Almost every student in this district will know this welcome song. And we'll wait for you if you need to come up here, don't you worry. Hey, good morning.
They're doing good.
Ahae. Hey, ahae. Hey, ahae, aha. Ahae. Hey, ahae. Hey, aha. Ahae. Hey, ahae. Hey, aha. Ahae. Hey, ahae.
But I think that's one more thing I have to share.
Because we didn't use duct tape.
We have, a lot of our teachers have been in training for the day, and they really wanted to make sure that they were able to be here and be present. So we'll see a lot of our teaching community trickling through and coming in to pay witness to the proclamation and to the ceremony. We're just giving it a few minutes, but as they're coming in, just know that we've got this is our support team. These are the people that are helping us out on different ways and different avenues. Yeah, we're really happy.
All right, so welcome to 2024 Elizabeth Peratrovich Day celebration, taking over Kayhi Commons for the second year in a row. I love that we had our posting of colors because our veterans are so very, very important. You have to remember that it was still legal to discriminate when they're serving and they were being recruited and they still for the love of their people, and they're so very important to us even today. That's very meaningful. The Klan acknowledgement's very meaningful. And I don't want to be disrespectful. I'm always still learning. My pronunciations, I'm still learning. But I do, like they said, they're bringing it back. And even not only in the students, they have Plinkett bonfires with Lisa Duet out at Buggies. And so the knowledge is going around, and even people my age are still learning. But I would like to acknowledge the family of Elizabeth Peratrovich and her relations and her clans, and Roy Peratovich's family as well. If the descendants are here, I just want to acknowledge you. I'm learning, and if I don't recognize you, I apologize, but please know if you're in here, we welcome you, we're excited. And as well, I am not the first host for the Camp 14. I would like to acknowledge Murray Jones and all her efforts throughout the years of hosting Elizabeth Peratrovich Day, and as Camp 14 as well for being here, and our presidents for being here. Right now, what we want to do is we have very special members of our youth that are going to introduce very important people. I'm going to say that again for the kids because I know that they're just so excited to be here. If you are going to introduce someone special, can you come up here, please? Because we would like to introduce you first. So if you're here to introduce a signatory, if we can get you to come up.
You grew up with them?
Let's get the kids out front. They don't need to hide.
I am Samson Oliver, brother to Isadora, Owen, Lisa, and Brian. I'm the son of Bridget Ellis and Marvin Oliver. I'm the grandson of Peter and Roz Ellis and Emmett and Georgia Oliver. I'm Chinook, located on the lower Columbia River, and Isleta Pueblo, located in New Mexico. I'm involved in my community by Kayhi Wrestling Team, National Ocean Science Bowl, and Native Youth Olympics. I'm also involved in National Honor Society. My plans for the future is to attend Cal Maritime and major in marine transportation. My career goal is to be able to pilot research vessels.
Good people, I am happy to be here with all of you guys today. I am the great-granddaughter of Dolores Churchill, granddaughter of Abel Churchill, and the daughter of Teresa Varno. Kilhana Sunu Deking is my name, but people call me Nina. I belong to the Haida Nation. My people are the G'ene from Haida Gwaii. My people are the Eagle Clan. I have been going into the classroom with my mom, helping and teaching the younger students. Someday I hope I will be able to teach the next generation and carry on my culture. My plan for my future is to succeed and to be challenged in my sports and activities. I am trying to go to college for speech pathology or law, and overall I will be making my family happy.
I am Gabriel. I am the son of Dana McCormick. I am proud to be here today with you guys. My name is Mark. I'm the son of Gabe.
Hello, my name is Brayden Young. I am the great-granddaughter of Frank and Ruby Young. I am the granddaughter of Susan Nelson and Frank and Sherry Young. I am the daughter of Kevin and Charlie Young, and the sister to Devin and Kellen Young. I am Haida, Raven Doublefin Killer Whale. I'm a member of the Ketchikan Theater Ballet, and I have been dancing there for 10 years. I am also an active member of the Ketchikan Youth for Change, a drug prevention and homelessness awareness group. I have maintained a 4.0 GPA throughout my high school career, and I am the sophomore class president. One of my favorite classes this year has been North Coast Art with Miss Debbie McLeavy. I am currently working on my first theater hat. After high school, I plan to go to college. I don't know where yet, and I don't know what I would like to major in, but in my future, I hope to stay connected to the arts community.
Hat'ala is Judy Dinan Uijan, Tom Dichin Uijan, Danita Diao Uijan, David Di Hut Uijan, Aurora Henu Di Kiang, Diu Kildagan. However, my great-grandparents are Tom and Janet Guthrie, Irving and Barbara Lease, Lee Marmon, and Mary Virginia Leslie. I am the granddaughter of Dan and Gigi Marmon Pilsner, Tom and Judy Lease Guthrie, Randy and Jennifer Scott. I am the daughter of Anita and David Scott, and the sister to McKinley Scott. I am Simshan, Haida, Plinkett, and Laguna Pueblo. I am the Velasquez Eagle Clan, and I am from the Wolf House. Since middle school, I have maintained a 4.0 GPA, and I have taken language and cultural courses in both Haida and Plinkett. While attending Kayhi, I have also taken Northwest Coast Art class and have made several items, including moccasins, baskets, and cedar bark hats. I'm also part of the K Highlights dance team. The biggest influence in my life are my mom, my dad, my na'a, my ba'a, my friends, and my family. as well as my teachers. I plan to continue my journey for more knowledge of my Native roots and community.
Can we just give one more amazing round of applause for our next generation with all that Can we get our Let's go ahead and get our proclamation signatories out here, and then we'll have the same youth is going to introduce them.
So I think we're going to begin right on this end as well. We've got a few things we've got to adjust so that we can make sure that there's space and room for everybody to be able to sign their proclamation. Perfect. Yeah. Okay, great. I'm going to pass this over to Ms. Aurora Scott. She's going to have a discussion about the person that she'll be introducing.
This is our law. Because the trinkets, it's ours.
Our first proclamatory signer, because of the events throughout this weekend, and we're going to respect some families. We did have 2 more members of our youth that were unable to be here, so I'm pretty sure they're the same height as me, just much younger. I would like to have the honor of introducing Rodney, the Ketchikan Gateway Borough Mayor. He has been ridiculously involved in these events and always puts, himself out there, whether we're hosting the Hokulea and he's sanding down paddles, or if we're giving them permission to leave our shores. He's one of the ones smiling real big in the crowd. He keeps his family involved. He's very community oriented, and he uplifts these events and these proclamations. It is my honor to introduce you to our Mayor, Rodney.
Thank you, Ginger. The borough got together with the elected officials from across this island and our Native leaders to put forward a proclamation. And I'd like to read a few words in that proclamation and then pass it off to the other distinguished guests that are here today. So to the many people, leaders, and respected elders here today, thank you for inviting me and giving me a chance to participate in this remembrance. Over the years, we have honored the life and accomplishments of Elizabeth Peratrovich, and I have asked that we take a moment to remember the values and virtues she displayed and to show her appreciation by seeking to be more like her. Elizabeth took the difficult path in life and faced the consequences of that action, all to make our state and our nation better for others. In Matthew 5:16, it reads, "In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." Elizabeth shone brightly with kindness, compassion, and selflessness, and left a legacy for us to follow. Let us always remember and pass on the importance of her sacrifice to ourselves and our children. So with that, I'm humbled to read a proclamation in true respect of Elizabeth Peratrovich that the representatives of our island are jointly presenting today. And that proclamation reads, whereas Elizabeth Wanamaker Peratrovich was a civil rights activist who advocated on behalf of Alaska Natives. And whereas she was born in Petersburg, Alaska, and was a member of the Luxicani clan of the Raven Moiety of the Tlingit Nation. And whereas Elizabeth graduated from Ketchikan High School in 1931. And whereas in 1941, Elizabeth and Roy Peratrovich petitioned the territorial governor to prohibit public places from posting no native allowed signs that were common in Alaska during that time. And whereas Elizabeth worked to pass Alaska's Anti-Discrimination Act, which would ensure that everyone would be given equal opportunity and protection from discrimination. And whereas this bill adopted in 1945 was the first anti-discrimination law passed in the United States, and whereas this legislation was signed into law nearly 20 years before the United States Congress approved the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And whereas in 1988, the Alaska legislature established February 16th as Elizabeth Peratrovich Day, now therefore, we do hereby recognize February 16, 2024 as Elizabeth Peratrovich Day and encourage all citizens to honor and celebrate her life, legacy, and steadfast commitment to equality for all.
could do it. You could do it.
It would be my honor to introduce you, the President of the Community, Utah Grady, Hawks, Norman Skan.
It's my honor to be introduced by the coolest guy in the building. Thank you, sir. I'll keep my speech short, but you'll probably be late for dinner, just warning you. So, ignore by the mic is not a good thing. Thank you, everybody, for being here. What I would like to do is, if you are native, raise your hand. Great. Guess what? What I'm about to say is not for you. What I would like you to do is give a round of applause to everybody that did not raise their hand. Elizabeth Peratrovich would have been super proud of the support that we have from the non-natives. It is what she had in mind. We didn't want to elevate ourselves above or be below. We wanted to be equal ground and be able to be in the same community together without any racism. It's just so important, and just looking around the room, I'm so touched by the diverse amount of people, different people that are here in support of Elizabeth Peratrovich Day. And this is happening not only here in Ketchikan, but throughout Southeast, throughout Alaska, and it's starting to get recognized nationally too. So I appreciate everybody. The KIT is, we're proactive this year. We really are, and it started last year, and we are standing loud and proud. Yes. And we could not do it by ourselves. We're the driving force, but every other community member that comes alongside us and pulls us, pushes us, whatever it takes, we appreciate that 100%, and we thank you all very much. Kushish.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Good job.
It is my honor to introduce you to the Mayor of Saxman, Frank Saludo, of San Juan, Gonna Cheese.
That's our amazing youth member, Mark Daniels. I would just like to acknowledge him and just take a moment of silence for Frank Saludo and his family. We're going to respectfully excuse their family. In our way, naturally, everything would be shut down, but in today's society, it didn't happen, but we're just gonna take a moment real quick. Ganachi, Sharhar, and Swiss Sonia Kwan. Frank Saludo is here in spirit, and these proclamations, they are still solid. They do have a signature on them. We have our next.
It is my honor to introduce Mayor Dave Keifer. Dave Keifer is the current city mayor and previous borough mayor. He's a longtime local educator, writer, journalist, and historian. Please welcome Mr. Dave Keifer.
I was born a few months after Elizabeth passed. I found out not long before my mother passed, when she was actually telling me all these stories that she mentioned around me, that she was disappointed that I was a boy, because she already had a name picked out, Elizabeth. Because, actually, or she used to call her Miss Beth. Elizabeth Peratrovich was my mother's babysitter back in 1929, 1930. And she always spoke very highly of her, always respected what she did. Like, actually kind of took it, in some ways my mom was kind of, taken aback at what Elizabeth was able to accomplish in her life. And the thing she always wanted me to remember, and she said this is the point that Elizabeth always made to her several times, was that we often think that civil rights are for people who need help step up in society. And that's true. But in reality, they're for all of us. When you raise one person's civil rights, you raise everyone's civil rights. And that's the message, I think, that we want to remember today in the honor of Elizabeth. I'm sorry, we honor Beth.
It will be my honor to introduce Charles Denny. Charles Denny is Tlingit from the Sanyakwan, Tukwiti Brown Bear people of the Hoots Hit Brown Bear House. Charles is the House leader of the Hoots Hit. Charles is the chairman of the Cape Fox Corporation, a lifelong Saxman firefighter, a Saxman tribal council, and he also served on the City of Saxman Council. Charles Denny.
It's really good to see all these people here to celebrate the Elizabeth Peratrovich Day. It's a big honor for her. If she was only here to see it, we've got different leaders around the community that are here that really show the respect to her and to the family. So. I'm representing the tribal council with the organized village of Saxman, so the rest of the council couldn't make it, but thank you for all of you for showing up.
It's my honor to introduce Dan Ortiz. He began his Alaska journey when he was 1 year old with his family in Heidelberg, Alaska in 1960. Moved to Ketchikan with his family at age 10 in 1969 and has been a resident of Ketchikan since then. Dan has served as a teacher and a coach at Ketchikan High School for 32 years, during which he and his wife, Lori, raised his 3 children, Molly, Lucy, and Sam. Dan Ortiz is currently serving in his 10th year in Alaska State Legislature, where he has served on the House Finance Committee for 8 years. He also served on the Tribal Affairs Committee for 4 years. Dan Ortiz.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What a privilege and honor it is for me to be here today to celebrate the life of a great American, a great Alaskan, a great leader. To be here with you all in my home community in Ketchikan, Alaska is truly, truly an honor and privilege. And I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to start with a story that's kind of more geared towards the younger age group, because we have some really highly skilled, highly talented young people who are here amongst us today. So I'm going to start with a little story. It's a true story. It's a story that starts back in around 1776. And around 1776, there are a group of people that got together. To be honest, the main people that gathered together were mainly men, mainly white men. But they did some really, really good work. You know what? They wrote a document. And one of the things that they wrote in this document was an idea. It was a start of an experiment, a great, great experiment called the American experiment. And in that document that they wrote some important words. They wrote, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all," they did say men, "all men are created equal." What they really meant was all people are created equal. But remember, this was an experiment. It was just something new. This was something where we were going to have a country that was led not by a king, not by a group of privileged, but by a group of citizens amongst the United States of America. And even then, they talked about it as an experiment. And so, in the course of the history, then, that started to unfold in this American experiment called American history, certain things happened along the way where we were attempting to get better and better at living up to the truths that were written in that thing called the Declaration of Independence. And to those words, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all people are created equal. Well, later on, we did a really wise thing. The United States was able to purchase the territory of Alaska around 1867. That was a good investment, as we can see today. But with that, of course, we were occupying a place that had long been inhabited for thousands of years by Alaskan Native people, by the Native people who were here for thousands and thousands of years. And it didn't always go smoothly, and it didn't always go well in the process where the American government began to gain control of the territory of Alaska. And again, the people that they encountered that were here for thousands of years, it didn't necessarily always go well for them. And later on, as things begin to move forward, there's this young woman who stands up and says, you know what? We need to do better. We need to do better at living the American dream here in Alaska. She was given the opportunity to address the territorial Alaska State Legislature. And in that legislature, there were some people who were skeptical about this whole idea of equality, particularly equality for Alaskan Natives. In fact, they spoke openly. At least one senator spoke openly against it. And then along came Elizabeth Peratrovich. And what happened was she addressed that territorial legislature. She addressed that group of mainly white men. And she said, no, things need to change. Those words that you folks wrote way back when, we need to do better. We need to do better at living the American dream, at holding our promise to move forward, to try to live up to this idea of all people are created equal. And I'm told that her words were very stirring, very moving, and she captured the attention of the people in that building. And lo and behold, many people say that had it not been for her words on that day to that group of people, we might not have ever made the gains, or at least put down in writing what needed to be said about all people, all Alaskan Native people are equal with anybody else in the state of Alaska. And so today, for me to come forward and to be able to celebrate that excellent special efforts of Elizabeth Peratrovich is truly an honor and privilege for me to do that. So thank you very, very much.
I am honored to introduce Alaska's senior U.S. Senator Lisa Murkowski, who is a third-generation Alaskan, proudly serving as the first Alaskan-born senator. Murkowski was born in Ketchikan and raised in towns across the state, including Wrangell, Juneau, Fairbanks, and Alaska. Lisa was adopted into the Tlingit tribe by the Ketchikan clan. Lisa loves spending time in the Alaska outdoors. She's an avid skier, has hiked on glaciers, enjoys fall duck hunts, and has an impressive king salmon mounted on her office wall. Since joining the Senate in 2002, Senator Murkowski has worked tirelessly for the Alaskans and earned a reputation in the Senate for her ability to work collaboratively and across the aisles to reach common sense solutions. Murkowski is well known for her love and dedication to her state, which means putting Alaska first. A leader on energy and public land issues, Senator Murkowski recognizes that sound national policy will promote job creation, economic growth, higher standards of living, and greater global stability. She supports the safe and efficient production and use of all forms of domestic energy, as well as research to help develop engineering technology. Senator Murkowski continues to pursue policies to advance renewable energy, increase energy efficiency, and make America's energy cleaner, more affordable, and reliable. She is a member of the Senate Appropriation Committee, ranking member in the Interior Environment Subcommittee, and member of the Senate Energy and Natural Resource Committee, member of the Senate Health, Education, Labor, and Pension Committee, and vice chairman of the State Indian Affairs Committee. Give it up for Lisa Murkowski.
Ginger, thank you. Thank you. Thank you to those who have joined today in this recognition of an extraordinary woman, an extraordinary Alaskan, and one who is being recognized not just within our own state, but within our country for her contributions and what she has done to advance civil rights, rights for all, for so many. I'm Lisa Murkowski. My parents are Frank and Nancy, who were raised here in Ketchikan. I was born in Ketchikan, and I feel like I am a daughter of Ketchikan. I am adopted, proudly adopted, into the Ketchikan clan. I'm of the Raven moiety. My adopted name is Anshawaki, which means Lady of the Land. And Aurora, you have read many titles and authorities that I have, but I share with many people that one of the most humbling moments in my professional career was when I was acknowledged in this extraordinarily humbling way by the people of this land, of our state, who have been here for generations. So to be born here, but to be adopted into a culture that is so rich and so extraordinary, that has been blessed by so many leaders and will continue to be blessed. We're seeing that in these young leaders here today. So to recognize the contributions of an extraordinary Alaska Native woman. Senator Ortiz, you outlined very well the strength and the courage that it took for this woman to stand before the territorial legislature. But I will remind you, this was decades ago. This was in the 40s. Women women were still kind of in the seen and not heard, much less a Native woman. And the fact that her advocacy that she had advanced prior to that day when she stood in that Senate gallery had given her the respect of the men in that room for her to be recognized. But think about the strength that it took for her to stand there, to speak, and to speak words of truth, not in a way that was loud and destructive, but she was described as a fighter with velvet gloves because she was gracious. She used her words, but she was firm, and she had a strength that she carried with her. So imagine what it would mean to stand there and say, far be it from me, one who is barely out of savagery, to tell you, who come from 5,000 years of civilization, about the Bill of Rights. Wow, doesn't that go straight to the heart of it? And it caused those individuals in that room, in that territorial legislature, I think, to look within. And what happened was not only transformative within our territorial legislature, in the first anti-discrimination law in this country, well, decades before the Civil Rights Act. It was led here. It was led here from a woman who went to high school here at Kayhi. Think about the pride of that. And this woman is recognized on the face of a gold coin, distributed not just in Alaska, but throughout the United States of America. 2 years ago, Senator Sullivan and I introduced a resolution in the United States Senate so that not only would Elizabeth Peratrovich Day be recognized on February 16th in the state of Alaska, but that Elizabeth Peratrovich Day would be recognized in the United States of America. That resolution was passed just 4 days ago on the Senate. I hope you feel that sense of pride. I hope you feel that sense of empowerment that Elizabeth Peratrovich brought not only for Native people, but for all peoples around the country. But Elizabeth's fight is not over. It is not over because we are still a country where we see levels of discrimination, where we feel the racism, where we feel the inequality. And so every day, each one of us needs to find our inner Elizabeth and not be afraid to stand up and speak words of truth, as she did. That is empowerment for the future. So Gunesh Chish, and today we recognize and honor an extraordinary woman, Elizabeth Peratrovich.
All right, let's get all of the signatories to step forward, and we'll do your shuffle exchange again where you guys sign all your proclamations, and then make sure everyone signs each proclamation. So go ahead and step forward. You guys got all your signs now. And you guys sign for your names that. And then can we get the members of the youth out here? When you have signed each proclamation, please go find the member of your youth to stand behind them.
Smile.
We're going to have Rodney stand by Mark, behind Mark, to introduce him. Just make sure you're standing behind whoever introduced you. There you go. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is what unity looks like. We have all island elected leaders, both tribals, governments, and state officials all together. But that's not what makes it completely united. It's the kids standing in front of them. This is our 2024 Elizabeth Proclamation signing. Thank you for all of the signatories for being present today in person. We appreciate you all taking your time to be here. This is not the conclusion of our event. We'll have stuff to come after this. But I would like to welcome anyone to take pictures, and then you guys can step aside. Okay, and then we have cake being cut up. Let's give one more round of applause to our elected officials. Willard? Our Southeast Veterans has a few words to spare while our leaders are standing up.
My comment is to Senator Lisa Murkowski. And speaking to her earlier, we have 18 qualified female mayoral selections that went through, only 18. We got one more year. The COVID that was involved in all this, as the Vietnam Veterans Coalition, part of that group, my brother Richard's part of that group, Irma Ariola, George Bennett, and others from the north, we were asking for an extension of 5 years because of the problems we're having with the computer trying to process that plan. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, at this time, all the students and members of our youth look at your signatory, and you can go ahead and hand them their gift now for signing our proclamation. I would like all the signatories that are behind their youth to go ahead and exit right, and our youth to remain. Now can we get more round of applause for our leaders? in just a second. We're going to be gifting each one of these individuals for coming up here and making a healthy risk to be out here and share their voice. We can hear each one of your guys' ancestors. It's really beautiful. Gunakchish Gabriel Cisneros. Gunakchish Mark Daniels. Braden Young. He's the son of the canoe, Samson Oliver. Gunakchish. Evelina Varnell, Aurora Scott, Gunakchish. I'd like to invite someone very special, very special. I'm scoping the room for her. Inessa. Oh my gosh. Inessa has the most beautiful poem to share with you, but Inessa is strong. Since I moved home, I enjoy spending time within the community, but I will never forget to uplift the next generation that I see. Inessa goes above and beyond for healing generational trauma, not only for the next generation, but she reminds us how to act too. She reminds me how beautiful it is to be beautiful and kind. Inessa is a true Indigenous leader because she does it with her heart, and I cannot wait to see where Inessa goes because I love and appreciate where she has come from. Inessa is going to do a self-introduction because Inessa has a beautiful knowledge.
I'm Katwak Shmubu. Do a song. I just have a little poem and a little speech I wrote, so bear with me. Memories like wisps of smoke drifting in and out of mind. Some are bright and clear as day, others faded, hard to find. Memories of laughter and joy, of love that felt so true, of moments that we shared with those whom we say siyagan to. Memories of struggles and pain, of tears we shed alone, of hardships that we overcame to make our hearts a home. Memories of childhood days of innocence and wonder, of dreams that we held in our hearts and stories that we spun with thunder. Memories that shape our lives in ways we cannot measure. They're woven into our very souls, a treasure we'll always treasure. Elizabeth Peratrovich was a wonderful treasure, one of many role models I look up to. I'm grateful to have a birthday on EP Day and have fond memories of going to school and events like this on my birthday to share my culture with others. Thank you.
Inessa surprises every year Inessa surprises, but she thinks it's accident that I invite her to come. She just got done telling you it's her birthday today. Not only a birthday, but did I hear Sweet 16 on Elizabeth Peratrovich Day?
Let's sing.
That's almost Indigenous Peoples Day. It's a good day to celebrate for anything. I think let's sing Inessa happy birthday. Okay, are we ready?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nessa. Happy birthday to you. Can I sing?
I sing a you die.
Happy birthday to them, and please forgive me when you get older every year. Every year, I try not to bother Inessa on her birthday, but every year I just want to highlight her for the leadership that she's doing throughout every generation. Good night, Inessa, and I hope you go and celebrate. Happy birthday!
The next person that's going to be with us today and going to be speaking is, she's a really unique individual in the way of when I reached out to teachers, it's very challenging to choose just a few students to come and share their time with us because we could be here for a full week with the talent, the care, all of the incredible qualities that our youth have in this community, whether they are part of the school district, if they're being homeschooled, if they're part of a different program. What we do know is that we've got a lot of tremendous leadership. We have a lot of talent. We have a lot of really unique and beautiful individuals. This individual that's going to be speaking with us today is somebody who's a standout in a lot of different ways. She was brewing away when my girl was brewing away. Her and her brother, they're just a couple months apart. As she's been a part of the community, I think all of us as educators kind of sit back and we're always observing and always spending time thinking about what's going to be the next move for this person. How are they going to be, how will this end up unfolding in their future? And she's one of those people that a lot of us have been keeping our eye on because of just her natural way of being. And it's hard for her to accept these kind of compliments, and I understand it completely because they come, and there's a ton of them. I am not going to say too much more because what we did have a discussion about is her being able to introduce herself as she enters this new world of finding new kinds of employment. Also, our youth are going to have to go through the process of job interviews, being able to talk about themselves. It's very unnatural. It's not part of our DNA as Indigenous people to brag on ourselves and talk about ourselves. So those students and those young people who took the time to do this and to be with us and share words about themselves really, really did have to extend themselves and work with their families on it. So at this time, I want to introduce Isadora Oliver.
Hi, I'm Isadora Oliver Naiga Yaho, Naiga Ankari Tilaha Mithlai Kavaiga Ima, but Naiga Quinaya. Hi, my name is Isadora Oliver. My ancestors come from the lower Columbia River, which spans across Washington and Oregon. My government tribe is the Quinault Indian Nation. I'm the daughter of Marvin Oliver and Bridget Ellis, and I'm the sister of Samson, Owen, Lisa, and Brian Oliver. I grew up in Seattle, Washington, and moved to Ketchikan in 2019. I'm currently a senior at Kayhi, and I'm on the track and field team, wrestling team, and the Native Youth Olympics team. I'm also a National Honor Society member, the vice president of my senior class, and a member of the Ketchikan Community Orchestra. I spend my free time oil painting Alaskan birds, and I'm passionate about Indigenous rights and hopes to become a tribal lawyer. Elizabeth Peratrovich was born on July 4th, 1911 in Petersburg. Though she was born on Independence Day, she, her family, Alaska Natives, and American Indians were not deemed U.S. citizens until 13 years later. This year, we are celebrating the centennial of American Indians and Alaska Natives being granted American citizenship without having to sever their traditional ties. But this legislation didn't eliminate racism towards Natives. Business held signs saying no dogs, no Natives, or cater to whites only. And districts segregated schools, movie theaters, restaurants, etc. The Alaska Native Brotherhood and the Alaska Native Sisterhood held boycotts and protests in hopes that Congress would recognize the unfair discrimination affecting Indigenous people. But the movement only caught attraction when white people started getting mistaken for Native people and understood the disgusting actions that were being normalized towards Native Americans. In 1945, the Anti-Discrimination Act was introduced to the House and passed, but was opposed in the Senate. Alaskan senators were blatantly racist towards Indigenous people, saying the races should be kept apart and describing Alaska Natives as smelly and half-breeds. Ms. Peratrovich sat quietly in the gallery while our senators made racist remarks that were said without remorse. She calmly stood up in front of the all-white, all-male, and wasn't afraid to speak her truth. Elizabeth stated that I, who am barely out of savagery, would have to remind gentlemen with 5,000 years of recorded history behind them our Bill of Rights. The room went quiet, and soon Alaska State Senate passed the bill. As a young female Indigenous person, I feel obligated to speak and celebrate the woman who has paved the way for Native Americans and Alaska Natives. She has heavily impacted my life and many others. Growing up in Seattle, Washington, my brother and I were the only Native kids in our middle school out of the 600 students attending. I felt isolated and was often teased for being Indigenous. They say redskin or go back to your teepee, which is laughable because I'm not even native to the plains. But never had the courage to stand up to those kids because I had no other Native peers. I believed for a long time I would always feel this isolation until I moved to Ketchikan. I remember in the 8th grade going to Schoenbar, and in my first period, I met someone in my class who was actually Native, and I was beyond shocked. Almost like I finally felt reassured that I wasn't always going to be the only Native kid in the class. Now, a senior at Kayhi, I'm so grateful to have been supported and pushed by the lovely Native community here in Ketchikan, including Elizabeth. Tonight, she gives me the strength to be vulnerable in front of a crowd. Her legacy pushes me to confront discrimination and promote equity across our nation. As I hope to become a tribal lawyer to bring justice to the Native treaties that have been infringed upon by our government. As we reflect on her life, please be reminded of the courage, resilience, and dedication to our community that she has demonstrated in the face of adversity. Elizabeth's life serves as a beacon of hope that will guide people towards a future where everyone is treated with respect regardless of their background. I raise my hands to Elizabeth and I thank her for continuing to inspire us today. Hayu Masi. Thank you.
I'm so thankful for her. She inspires me. Every single time I talk with her, I feel like I'm a kid walking out of the room. She's really an amazing human being. At this time, we have a couple of things that are on the agenda that are pressing. At this moment, I'm going to ask, we've got two or three talented young poets. I'm going to ask for them to come up here. Miss Cornwall, are you with us? Yeah, and also, can we have our poets come right in front? Yeah, and maybe right in front of the podium, because a lot of our people on this side haven't been able to hear. And I can kick this off.
Hi there, my name is Melanie Cornwall, and I am a third grade teacher at Tongass School of Arts and Sciences. Thank you so much for having us. We had our own Elizabeth Peratrovich celebration yesterday because the kids were not in school today. These are two of my third graders who are going to introduce themselves in a moment, but they've been working incredibly hard studying about who Elizabeth was and what she was feeling at the time and what might it have been like. And they came up with some pretty incredible poetry that they would like to share with you.
Hi, my name is Alexandra Manners, and I am Haydn and Mishka, and my grandma's name is Angelina Lammers. his name is Dennis Amos. Elizabeth Peratrovich is a historical Native leader. She experienced racism, unfair treatment, bad housing, not allowed to go into restaurants, stores, movies. No dog or Indians are allowed. This really hurt Native people. These restricted laws, our children were sent away to boarding schools, away from families. She was the voice of civil rights, fair housing, jobs, fair treatment for the natives. Our native men served in the military, at home, restricted, again, no dog or Indians are allowed. Many businesses was restrict to them. As a strong Native leader, she spoke for civil rights, fair treatment, jobs, going to public stores, movies. Our children go to school at their own hometowns. Public schools, we deserve fair treatment in housing, jobs. Our children go to school in their own hometowns. The laws for all Alaska citizens. Woo!
My name is Grayson Money DeWitt, and my mom is Lisa Money DeWitt. She is Elizabeth Peratrovich. She wonders about where to live. She hears slurs toward natives. She sees signs that say no dogs, no natives. She wants to have everyone equal. She is Elizabeth Peratrovich. It feels sad because she was turned away from a house. She worries that the bill won't pass. She cries because she wants equal rights for her people. She is Elizabeth Peratrovich. She understands her people need a voice. She says, I would not expect that I, who am barely out of savagery, would have to remind a gentleman with 5,000 years of record civilization behind them of our Bill of Rights. She dreams racism will end. She is Elizabeth Peratrovich.
I wanted, Ms. Cornwall, would you mind just staying for just a minute? This is a really good time for us to have a conversation a little bit about the teachers that create this impact. This is really incredible, and I've had the opportunity to visit a lot of different schools. I was with TSAS yesterday, and we spent a lot of time together, and I walked away from that experience like I couldn't sleep. It was so beautiful and so profound. And when I think it was President Skan today that shared, we have to make sure that we've got allies and we honor our allies and the community, and that we are building those relationships, and that we are sharing our thoughts, our feelings, ongoing relationships, building bridges, not mending bridges, building bridges. And it is the teachers that have the opportunity to reach our children firsthand. And I just want to tell Ms. Cornwall how much I not just appreciate you, but I appreciate all of the things that you do, and all of the things, even when you're facing adversity and you can't get a hold of the right people, and we go on and we try our best. Thank you for everything you do, Ha'a. We appreciate it. We're cutting cake back here, and I think we're gonna have some people serving cake and getting it. Huge ally in our community, somebody who I respect, is very respected, cares tremendously about the first people of this land and the future for our children and the future for this land. I'm gonna ask for Peter Stanton to please come and join us.
Yukesit Galson Shedikat Yuhan, Kunak Shakudzi Awe Yuhsatini Yasit Galson. Good afternoon, everybody. It's amazing to see all of you here this afternoon. I had no idea how difficult of a speaking spot I would have this afternoon. Following up on the comments of our elected leaders, the amazing poetry, speaking, and singing of our young leaders, and our slightly older leaders of community organizations and schools. Happy Kachkachat Elizabeth Peratrovich Day. Kakaskucho ayach achsayi nanya ayi nachatsiti. Peter Stanton ka yahuch yuchat duasa. Blake ka washton kwan ayachat. My name is Peter Stanton, but people also call me Yahuch, and I'm honored to carry the name Kakaskucho. I can only echo what Senator Murkowski said. I am a white man and an American, but I'm also an adopted member of the Nanya Ayu clan of the Wolf Moiety of the Shtakin clan. And it was one of the greatest honors of my life to be adopted into the Nanya Ayu several months ago. I just want to acknowledge my sisters as well. I'm honored to be able to speak to you today on this occasion about Kachkachat Elizabeth Peratrovich and our history here in Singaani, Tlingit country. I may echo some of the comments about our history shared by our elected leaders and our young leaders, but I hope that I can add some details and share some thoughts that could be helpful and thought-provoking for you. As a history teacher here at Ketchikan High School, I spend a lot of time thinking about Ha-Shagun, our history here on this land, and I'd like to share just a few of those thoughts with you. So when I spoke here last year, I focused on the world that Kachkachat was born into in 1911 and the enormous transformations and struggles that the Tlingit, Hadas, Tsimshian, and other indigenous nations were experiencing at that time. This year, however, I'd like to turn my attention to the history that happened since that date, the 47 short years that Kachkachat lived, and the 66 years that have passed since her death. In particular, I'd like to highlight some of the ways in which life was very different for Kachkachat and Alaska Native people during her time, as well as ways in which their struggles were not so different from struggles Alaska Native people continue to face today. I asked my students yesterday whether, when Kachkachat famously spoke to the Alaska Territorial Legislature in 1945, would she have introduced herself in Tlingit? Would she have introduced herself to those legislators with her Tlingit name? Right away, they knew the answer was no. My students learned and recognized that at that time, when so many Native leaders were advocating for social integration, for civil rights and equal treatment under the law, that there continued to be intense pressure placed on Alaska Natives to assimilate into American society, to abandon and shun traditional practices, ceremonies, and their very own languages. But, as many of us know, since Kachkachat's passing in 1958, there has been an incredible renaissance in Native arts, Native cultural activities, a strengthening language revitalization movement. However, we should also acknowledge that during Kachkachat's time, even as indigenous languages and traditional knowledge were suppressed, there were, at that time, more fluent first language speakers of Sengit, Kil, Shemagik, and other languages, and there were more elders carrying traditional knowledge at that time than there are today. There has been clear progress since Kachkach's time, but there has also been loss, and we should acknowledge both of those things. Similarly, when we look at the history of education on this land, we should recognize the incredible work done by Kachkach and those of her generation and the generations before, Nettie and Irene Jones, Shkundi, William Paul, and many others, to ensure that Indigenous children would have access to the best education that American society could provide. But we know also that that education was one which at best de-emphasized and at worst delegitimized or even destroyed Indigenous identities and traditional knowledge, actively harming Native children. In recent decades, we can see that there have been real changes in schools, especially as Native-led organizations have created and provided new educational resources, trained up personnel, and pushed school districts to evolve. But as educators and families know very well, our school system can often be quite slow and even resistant to change. And even as we generally succeed in providing access to equal educational opportunities to all of our youth, we know that the outcomes of our educational system remain far from equal. Hence, tribal governments have advocated for their sovereignty to be recognized in providing for their citizens' education. And Ketchikan Indian community is one of the 5 tribes in the state of Alaska beginning a new effort to create an independent tribal compact school. I'm excited to see how KIC, the Ketchikan Gateway Borough School District, and so many other educators, advocates, and families will keep investing in visions of success for our youth so that we can keep progressing. The last topic I'd like to address is this land itself, Shinga-Ani. Throughout Kachkach's life, Indigenous ownership of the land that we now call Alaska was entirely unrecognized by the U.S. government. Under U.S. law, canneries had laid claim to large plots alongside salmon streams. Prospectors had made mining claims everywhere across the region, and settlers had been entitled to homesteads, all on Shinga-Ani. Meanwhile, Native individuals and families only gained legal title to small plots, if anything, and that title was often at risk. Throughout her life, Kachkach witnessed and was part of Alaska Native struggles to receive recognition for their ownership of this land. And I don't know exactly what Kachkach's thoughts, hopes, and expectations might have been, but a few years before she died, in 1955, she would have seen Shkundi William Paul's case, Tehitan Indians versus the United States, end in defeat at the U.S. Supreme Court. I can't imagine that she would have expected that the Alaska Native Claims Settlement Act could have been enacted just 16 years later. If only she had been able to live into her 60s, she could have witnessed that watershed moment. But of course, as all of us should know, the Alaska Native Claims Settlement Act was not complete in 1971, and it still is not complete over 50 years later. Native people in Haines, Petersburg, Tenakee Springs, Wrangell, and here in Ketchikan have had to continue to fight to be recognized under a law that never should have excluded them in the first place. Yet again, while many things have changed, some things have stayed the same. And while the U.S. government still does not recognize all Native communities' land ownership, Native people and their allies will have to keep fighting for justice. So I hope that my comments have helped you consider some of the historical trajectory of the last 100 years, the conditions and struggles experienced during Elizabeth Peratrovic's lifetime, and some of the changes and continuities that have happened since her passing. As always, Kayhi's example remains shining, ever inspiring, showing us Indigenous perseverance, ingenuity, courage, and strength. She is the most famous Alaska Native leader of her generation, deservedly so. But she was not the only one, and she needed supporters too. Whether you are a leader, a warrior, a supporter, an ally, whatever you want to call yourself, you are needed. We can look back with gratitude on the progress that has been made and the past battles that have been won. But the struggle for true justice and equality in Alaska will continue. Thank you very much for listening to me, and happy Elizabeth Peratrovich Day.
At this time, as the Elizabeth Peratrovich Chair of Camp 14, I would like to call up someone who, without them, this whole event would not have been possible with the coordination of the school district and other local leaders. I'd like to call up Teresa Varnell to the center, please. We're gonna do something special, and you know, when you think about it, you have to apply for so many grants for our language. I feel like as hard as they've rinsed it out of our mouths, they should be paying for it to put it back. We have educators that come in, and I'm not talking about the Western educators. I'm talking about people like Kevin Clevenger, Michael Milne, Dolores Churchill, Holly Churchill, Gloria Burns, and so many others to come in and teach the knowledge that we want our children to know. The best way that we can think of as a committee to give our way back, Teresa, can you go to the center, please? Teresa Varnell is, every wall that I hit for this event, she was the one that I was faced with. And there is never any problems. There's always solutions when working with Teresa. Teresa is consistently thriving for her children and her youth and her staff. And let me tell you about the Ketchikan Gateway School Borough staff another time. So right now what we're gonna do is, can I get 4 of our youth volunteers out here?
Oh, specifically 2 male and 2 female.
Specifically, we have 1 female out here. We need another one. There we go, another female. We need 2 gentlemen volunteers, please. We're gonna do a money dance for Teresa's entire department so she can feel free from this event. So this is what we're gonna do, is we're gonna put back into our youth, because the youth came and they provided for us, and we're gonna go put back into the culture coordinators funding slot, however this works. But the native way, we're gonna put money into a basket or into a blanket. We have these ones gonna be walking around here soon. We have the most amazing soloist in Southeast, Harvey Holter, to do our gambling dance. And he's gonna do the proper introduction, because you know how we know that's the way it goes.
So, Singai La'u Sunu Ayat Lung Tatum. How are you folks doing today? What a beautiful day it is. So, you're going to get to witness something very special. You're going to get to see how high this gamble back today. So I'm not even joking. We are celebrating gamblers. Are you kidding? When you get too much wealth, what would you do with it? You give it out. Sometimes you gamble with it. There'd be a pinch on the things. I need 2 nephews.
Gabriel's coming. Is Mark still here?
Alright, so lay the blanket on the floor. Just real flat as can be. All right, so your idea, I'll just give you an example. So like, you take some money, you dance up to the blanket, however you choose. If you're Tlingit, dance like a Tlingit. If you're a Haida, dance as a Haida. If you're Simshan, dance as a Simshan. Go to the rhythm. Okay, so you're going to sit on this side? Either one. Okay, and you're going to sit on the opposite side. So we'll give it a lot of space. Okay. All the young men, what you'll do now, all right, so I only need two, but the young men, you'll stand on the side and you'll gamble with them. How you'll do it is you'll shuffle your hands like this. That's the gambling. You two have to sit across from each other on the blanket. Just like that. You scoot that way where the ledge is. Let you stand very still if you want. All right, right there. Okay. All right, so you're going to take this fiver. I'm going to remember that it's 5. I want it back later. So what you're going to do is on the drum beat. So everybody, you're going to participate a little bit too. If you're standing, you're going to face away from the gamblers when I turn my back. I'm going to hit a high note. My voice is just going to go up. You're going to see me turn around. That's when you all, who are ever standing, you turn around too. You're giving those gamblers their privacy, darn it. And as this happens, you two young men, as everybody's turned around, you're going to have 2 ladies dancing on the outside of you, trying to distract you, of course. And as it goes, you're going to gamble. You're going to shuffle your hands like this. When I turn my back, whoever has the dollar is going to hide it behind their back. You're going to switch hands. You're going to go back to gambling. When I turn back around, you're going to make the other gambler guess. Come on. All right. So that's all of your history lesson. Hopefully you remember how to gamble later on in the future. This is the Haida gambling song. It's one of my favorite songs, so if you have a dollar you would like to know. Wait, what was the money going
Teresa's Title VI program.
Oh, perfect. All right, so whoever wants to donate for such events like this and things like this to continue to happen, to show each other's commitment towards each other in our community, please donate. All right, so let's have some fun. It's a pretty upbeat song. If you know the words, please sing along. All right. shake it in there. Oh, she guys figured out what to do. Oh. Is that it? Where's the boss? Oh. Oh, it's time to eat? Okay. All right, so it's time to eat. This is one of my favorite songs in the world. If you know how to sing it, sing along. First, I'm going to do it. All right, as soon as this song starts, you can go get in line and get your herring eggs through the kitchen. Okay. All right. So there's two versions of the song. I like Skidegate and I like Harvey. So when I switch over to Harvey, I'm going to start calling people out. But feel free to just enjoy the song and tell it.
Okay, we only have a couple more presenters left, but they're the most amazing, and we have a huge surprise, but I'm not going to tell you what it is, because I'm cliquey and I like to make people wait.
Oh, is it just a quiet moment?
All right, so we're going to have our amazing Southeast soloist, Harley Bellholter, back up here, and maybe he has some invitationals he'd like to sing, because we have kids that love to dance, and when we say invitational, it's invitational. And I will be going over here and helping other people dance, and I encourage you to dance or stand in place or however you'd like to participate. If you're an elder, I'm seeing elders that don't have eggs yet. And elders eat first. So we're going to make sure to go around to the elders during these next couple of songs. We're going to be giving out herring eggs now for food. We're also going to be distributing other gifts through these rest of the songs. Oh. All right, who's ready for a raffle?
All right, let's see. Okay, so we're gonna warm up because I want you all to sing a little bit with me. Hangwa just means like right, and the only right way to respond is So let's repeat after me. Very good. So let's see. So let's warm up the vocal cords. This one's an interactive song. Earlier, somebody said I put my hands up to you. That's a really cool thing. I've spoken about this with my teachers, a few colleagues. In our Northwest Coast culture, when we want to show peace and some sort of connectivity, we hold our hands like this. Some people, without even looking at me, knew what to do with their hands. That's a powerful thing. That's what it means. So put your hands like this, please. All right. So, as you put your hands up, you're going to sway. You're going to sway from the left and then to the right. In Krodkel, that's Spongoose, Holgoose. All right. So, and the words are fairly easy if you want to sing it if you don't know. This is not a Haida song. This is a Flathead song. We call it the friendship song. This is a song we sing to show our connectivity to each other. So, the words are simply, repeat after me. A-U, 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 Utle, Utle, Gayuika, Gayuika, All right, so it's going to be a little difficult at first, but then you're going to pick up on it, I promise. All right, it's a slow jumping. It's to emulate paddling on a canoe. So in our Krodkel language, I thought of a phrase that I like to use for this moment. It's Ditlasu again. Ui'u, Handensha. Feel the rhythm of the song. All right. Oh, wait. Actually, you guys are still singing a little bit too asleep. So there's another word another phrase I like to use in Karate Kill. It's haigwa. Haigwa means, are you ready? Again, the only proper response is ah. So I'm going to ask you, and you got to match my energy. So haigwa. Ah! Haigwa. Ah! Haigwa. Ah! That was pretty good. All right. All right, hands up. Hands up. Hey, you. All the other songs that are playing. Let's see. Where's my? Oh, actually, now are you ready? Safety. Okay. All right. Please give it up. Actually, I'm not going to introduce. Who's going to introduce? You want me to introduce? Please give it up for Ketchikan Mayor. Woo! Woo! There we go. Warm them up for you. Yeah.
Magaudi Shulia, Papakiga, Ashalo, Nakabil, Kamwa, Luango, good afternoon, everybody. Our dance group is the Milgam Niyayam Dancers of our Grandfathers. It is a true honor today to come and share some songs and help everyone, help this town celebrate Elizabeth Peratrovich Day. We chose 3 songs we want to share with you today, songs that bring a lot of joy and pride, because we want to show everybody that regardless of all of the struggles over the years, that our people are working hard and we are teaching our children, and we have generations coming up that are filled with pride. Yes, and so this first song we're going to sing for you is Waking Up the House Post. This song was sung to ask permission from the house post that contained our history, for permission to take up our traditional knowledge again. And at first, we're very respectful of each house post, just gently, quietly trying to wake it up. But when we start to feel strong and good about our traditional knowledge, we're not quiet anymore. So this is Waking Up the House Post. I want to straight line. so much. Okay, ready? Roll, Lupo, Waleed, Cal. Stories from one of our Skan historians, the late Ira Booth from Metcalfa. He always taught that when our Skan people look at our history and we look at the times song, we show the positive energy everyone has when we get invited to a totem pole race. And it's time to go to the carbon shed to carry the pole out in the morning. And then we slow down because the carver or the foreman will start instructing everyone who's holding onto the ropes. Pull over here, stop pulling over there. As you guys know, that is very delicate business to raise a totem pole. And so at some point, the carver or the foreman will be telling everyone, stop pulling on the ropes. And as we have seen in years past, sometimes the pole needs to get twisted, and we're going to demonstrate that now. Here's the totem pole race.
Here today, draw the prize. You can draw the prize.
Cool. Believe. How do you do it? How do you do it?
Oh, I love it. Let's get a little time.
Okay, and for our next speaker, Dave Rubin is looking for water, I think. I know. I don't want anybody here to be shy. When I say we made some herring eggs, I mean we made some herring eggs. So we made some herring eggs. So you gotta come bring that plate around 3 or 4 times. You can go ahead and do so. Don't be shy about taking some home too. To take some to go, but while we're waiting for our next speaker, I'm just going to go ahead and acknowledge the people that contributed to our event today. Michael Milne, if you guys look above, this was our 20-foot banner that we had displayed last year. That was last year's surprise. So Dave's here now. I'm going to make this real quick and short. Michael Milne is one of the best artists. I don't ask him for Elizabeth Peratrovich art. He does it annually out of the own goodness of his heart, and that's what I really appreciate about artists, is they're not doing anything for clout. They're doing it because I feel like he really feels the vibe of Elizabeth, and he's creative and contemporary, and he has it out on his website. The link is on Camp 14. Please go through there, share his art. There's coloring pages, share them with your educator friends throughout the entire United States, and all the way even in Canada and everywhere else. Michael Milne's art is out there, and we're gonna uplift him as an artist who always gives and never asks for anything in return, and he always does it with a smile on his face. And I don't blame him, because he is rock solid. He has the most beautiful wife, Lisa Duet. She's a language warrior out there. His children, one of them was up here speaking, Grayson. So this whole entire family really is a beautiful thing to look at in today, and shows how far healing can go, and how much culture brings unity, and how it spreads throughout the community by them being such a beautiful power couple. You can see the language flowing through our youth. You can see his art everywhere. And to me, that's beautiful. That's today's, maybe 2024's Elizabeth and Roy's duo couple, So power couples, Indigenous power couples, I just want to uplift that. Indigenous artists who go out there with their heart. I just want to appreciate and uplift Michael Milne for always contributing, not only for this banner, for this year's poster. That was all his art as well. And then I would also like to introduce our next speaker, Dave Rubin.
I spent the last summer down at the Discovery Center painting this painting of Elizabeth Peratrovich. It's a painting of her when she was 10 years old.
And there's another one.
I took it from a picture of her and her adopted parents, the Wanamakers. And what I did is I put her between the two worlds that she was to inhabit and to resolve. There's our Tlingit side with the clan house. There's the Capitol building, where she would say those now famous words. And I have it up there on a big rock, the way a 10-year-old girl might have imagined it, far off, some unapproachable place. But one day she would bring both those worlds together with her words, and it was her eloquence that did it. When she got up and said what she did, I never would have expected that I, just barely out of savagery, would have to remind these men with 5,000 years of recorded history behind them of our Bill of Rights. And the hall went silent. And the next day they voted 11-4 in favor of the anti-discrimination. And it was her words that did it. Her eloquent words. Barely out of savagery. Yes. But anyway, this painting is down at the Discovery Center. And I thought, Ketchikan High School, where she graduated, they don't have anything of her. And I said, well, I can't give them this one. It's already at the Discovery Center. So I did another one that I'm giving to the high school. And it's over here.
And what better picture than her high school yearbook picture? And it's not done yet, because I only have 2 weeks. So I'm gonna finish it, I'm gonna get it framed, and I'm gonna bring it up here, and Ketchikan High School can do with it what they'd like. Yes, I'm quite impressed with Elizabeth Peratrovich.
Stand by until you get home. Did he do that picture behind you?
Yes, it's already
Yes.
still on.
Oh,
Here you go. I have some more. Yeah, I was wishing.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me here.
So beautiful.
Ketchikan High School. Thank you.
Pardon? I didn't hear you.
Hudson Bay tea.
Is there some?
Yeah.
Some?
Next Monday.
Oh.
You want some, Sharon?
I'm good. Thank you.
You're good.
I'll go get some, Barbara. I'll go. Okay. All right. Thank you.
I don't think if you guys didn't catch that quite, Dave is going to picture and frame this. This is the actual photo of Elizabeth Peratrovich from her alumni photo. You can go to the library. They have it down in the basement. They'll pull it up. You can wear special gloves. You can see the ink from her signature is still there. He saw it yesterday at the library. This is it. This is a photo. It will be hung up. Let's repeat that again. Elizabeth Peratovich's photo will be hanging in Kayhi. Thanks and good bakshish to Dave. And just I know he already said it, but the paint is still wet. Still wet. He's that determined, and that is our biggest surprise this year. Last year we had the banner. This year, anything to highlight and uplift Elizabeth and keep her. The songs are echoing through the halls. And I know that's what Elizabeth would have wanted. She would have wanted the indigenous languages to be echoing. So I'm very grateful and I'm very honored that Elizabeth Peratrovich piece will be hanging up. We have Camp 14 and Camp 15 both came together to host this most amazing event. And if it wasn't for me, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. I'm continuously upholding my grandmother's footsteps and so on. I just want to encourage you, no matter how old and no matter how young you are, to come join us, come join a meeting. All of our meeting information is online on Camp 14. We also have our own website. So please come be a member. I should be apologizing for Legend. He's the one that cuts through every time I talk. He's Camp 14's youngest member. He's been a member since he was born. His membership is paid till he's 14. And so I would apologize, but we are Indigenous here. We are proud, and our kids should be here listening to everything and listening to everyone and getting to experience this. Lori, we have a song from the Tongass. Lori Ganya would like to share with us.
Hello, my name is Lori Ganya. I go by Lori Ganya. I'm a Raven of the Tongass tribe. I'm very proud to be with you My grandma Gunya, she always said, we're all on this earth together, get along, go with the flow. And she smiled all the time. So I'm sharing that with you. And we were at dance practice at 429 KIC. And this little girl's 5 years old. She came up to me. She said, Lori, I want to sing to you this song. We always have fun with you at dance practice. Made my day. Huh? Isn't she cool? I don't remember her name, but I'll sing it to you because she touched my heart with it when you hear why. And I was going to start trying. Yay, Aquasity, Satsu, Yay, Aquasity, Satsu, I will see you again, my friend, I will see you again, my friend, my friend. I love you. I'll say in my Tlingit, Ikaskan, I love you. And when I go like this with you guys, I'm asking you to smile, and the world will smile with you. You're shook. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day. Bless you all.
Aren't you guys lucky you stayed? Because we have, I'm going to hand this over now. $516 for Teresa to spend it how she chooses, because this isn't done by a government grant. There's no loopholes or I's you have to dot. This is from the Elizabeth Peratrovich Day Committee. We had agreed that we wanted to honor you, and we had agreed that we weren't going to choose certain nonprofits through this. We are going to keep it within the schools, and because your collaboration efforts are so amazing, it is where it belongs now. I'm going to choose for everybody that contributed to that. Well, aren't you guys lucky you have to be here to win? So let's do some drawing.
Look at my finger going. Okay.
Last number on the ticket is 718. Anybody? Oh, wait, I should tell you guys, you want to pull out your tickets? So we can do a drawing? Oh, you didn't get no tickets? The audacity.
Some people fly. What were the numbers? 718. The last number.
If you have not received a ticket at the door, please raise your hand. We have someone running through right now so we can toss them in the bucket. For everybody else, are you guys got your ticket ready? Yeah? Okay. Okay. Last ticket number 753. No?
Nope. 6. Have to be president. So.
I'm only going to do it twice. Okay. Last ticket number 685.
Close. Let's see.
Merle!
Oh, looks like Lloyd's here.
Merle got herself a B&D's Espresso t-shirt.
Okay. Well, you have a good weekend. We're going to the games tonight. I didn't know. Yeah, we might. I'm not really sure.
B&D's was one of our contributors today. I'd also like to acknowledge we do go back between the Village Store, Cape Fox, and Crazy Wolf every year for my events. This year is Crazy Wolf's year, so all the signatories that got it this year, all those gift bags were from Crazy Wolf. Next ticket is 743. 743.
Can you see?
Next ticket 674. 674. I feel like you guys should start shouting numbers out to me, see if I can grab it.
Oh, you can't run those tickets.
If you haven't got a ticket yet, keep your hand raised. There's someone coming around bringing out tickets. Teresa's coming. 698. Do we have a 698?
Yes.
Who? Do we have a 698?
Yeah.
Oh. Woo! Winner. Sealed dinner. There you go. Oh, sheesh. All right. Up next we have Just Dandy hoodie or a beanie. Who wants a Just Dandy beanie? Just Dandy. So I also should point out that the people that contributed to our events are Indigenous owned and operated businesses locally. And if they are not Indigenous owned, then they have to go support a local artist. And the only reason why I went to AAP is because I really wanted Kevin 500 bags. So if you haven't got reusable bags, be good to the ecosystem and go get them at AAP. All proceeds go to the high school, I believe. 729. You won? I almost gave you the beanie just because. 729. Oh, it really is you? Oh, I thought you were kidding. I love it. We got a winner. Next number is 630. 630. And if you're a winner, can you shout winner? 630. Or bingo. Okay. 737. 737. 703. 703. 665.
Oh, I missed by one.
Oh, that's you? 665? You got Just Dandy hoodie. Okay. Next we have an adult gift bag from Woodland Clothing. 782. 782. Oh, she got it! Yay! Adult one. Six, 661. 661. 661. 650.
Teresa.
650. 649. 649. 691.
Can you see those
6,
numbers?
691.
I can't see.
712. 712.
I'll tell you.
Oh, he's gonna get the. Who won, Tim? Was it you?
767.
Did you get it or one of your kids?
768.
You did it? Okay, here we go. Okay, we're waiting.
768.
We're waiting for a kid to win this next box. Oh, you won. There you go, buddy. Woodlands Clothing. That's what I'm talking about. All right. 787. 787. 668. Nessa!
Birthday present.
And you guys have, okay, so we got 2 winners. Oh, they're related. It must be fixed. You guys got B and D's leggings. B and D leggings. That's yours.
Yep, that's your heart.
714. Woo! That's nice little chocolate bouquet with a little husky. Oh, 697. 697. Yay! There you go. 777. Oh, April, winner, winner!
April is glorious.
Oh, we need some more kid winners.
I'm a kid.
664. 664. 779. 779. Woo. 772. Oh, good, good, good. 783. Right there. 783.
You make the world better.
631. 631. 675. 675. 708. 708. Oh, there we go. Winner, winner. 738. 711. 789. Got a new. I'm sorry, my son can do a lot, but he's not allowed to touch sacred items. I apologize. I apologize. 635. 635. 788. 788. 655. 788. Dave. Woo! 636. 636. 656. 646.
She's going through it fast.
786.
Oh.
786. Over there. 781. 781. 695. 695. 681. 681. 68. Oh, there we go. We got a winner back there. 723. 723. Woo! We got another winner. Six, 8, 9. 6, 8, 9. 728. 677. 653.
Yeah.
625. 625. We got a winner. 717. 717. 726. 726. 748. Yay, we got a kid. No. We got a kid. We have a book from Grandis' Books. They're also one of the contributors to our event, and it goes to Javen. Javen does multiple canoe journeys, another amazing member of our youth. 640. 741. Oh, 640. We got one over here. Oh, there we got our last winners. We're good. We're going to distribute some more stickers. We also have art from Cameo. Teresa Varnell's out there handing it out. Cameo McRoberts is a powerhouse, always advocating for Elizabeth Peratrovich. And she and my Sergeant of Arms, John Rubo, are amazing. This is their second year in the kitchen. They're in there, and I don't see them the entire time, and they come out when everybody leaves. Is our kitchen staff in there? Okay, let's give a big round of applause for everybody within the kitchen that make the hair games and cut up the cake. I'd like to also take knowledge that if you look around the room, the students within the school district had put in their love into all these pieces that you see around here, all throughout the school district. If you look over here, I would look further into the art because a lot of it's abstract. So if you go and look around the room before you're leaving, please keep in mind that this banner is a timeline, so feel free to go through and read it. On the back, we have coloring pages. Please take them home to your family and spread them around everywhere for the schools. Principal Dormer and the Ketchikan Gateway School District and administration and everybody within collaborating with Camp 14 Alaska Native Brotherhood. Good night, Chief, for attending today, and have a good day.